God sees me just for who I am. When I see.
Welcome to the Third Rail. I'm your host, Dr. Mark James. And today, in our first very episode of The Live Wire, we will explore statements that were made this week from one of the greatest coaches in the history of college football. We're going to get deeper, and we're going to take a dive that some people won't go to. But guess who's going to go there? Welcome to the Third Rail, Live Wire, edition number 1. We'll be back.
Yeah, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. Everything was manifested. They wondering how I do it. You wanna know how I do it? I am that I am. It's really that easy. Know who you are when you speak it. Lost in the phone and the TVs. Everything that shine ain't gold. God sees me just for who I am.
Welcome back to the Third Rail, Live Wire. Today we're talking a little bit about a statement that Nick Saban made. But old Nick, let's get a little bit deeper. Sometimes some things that are not said are greater than the things that are even said. Take a look at this person in the picture. This person, Cedric Burns, always on the sideline, holding a cup of water behind the greatest football coach that has ever lived in college history. Everywhere he goes, just standing the whole game with a cup of water for Nick Saban. How many of your black players subconsciously thought that that's not a good look for TV? How many of your players probably thought, not only is it not a good look for TV and the international and national world, it's probably not a good look in Tuscaloosa, I hope I said it right, Alabama. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Nick Saban, you have a legacy in football, but you also have a responsibility to the great black and brown men that you coached. Yes, Cedric Burns got paid. Yes, he did not work for free. But the view of that makes me want to say you're not the person to speak for black and brown student athletes all across the country about whether name, image, and likeness should happen or not. So now you're going to call upon Trump and the administration to intervene with a presidential order. People are feeding their families. People are leaving high school with the ability to change the trajectory of their lives. And you have a problem with that. I hate to tell you this, Nick, but there's something in my book, 50 Years of Silence, that speaks about plantation economics and compares NCAA football to the Southern plantation. See, I live in Richmond, Virginia, and when you take a ride down Route 5, you go through what I call Plantation Row, where they still grow cotton, Nick. I also take a ride to Shockoe Bottom, and where you still see the unmarked graves of thousands of slaves that got asphalt poured on top of them because of Building 95. Nick, race relations in this country are real. You know who you're affecting when you make these statements about possibly altering or changing NIL. You're affecting the black community. This is why I used to take a helicopter and come into my school so the young black kids would be so impressed with you that you'd be able to recruit them without even saying a word. We're not impressed anymore because now our young kids have options. Now our young people don't have to be loyal to one school, just like coaches are not loyal to one school. You remember what happened at the Miami Dolphins, Coach Saban? I'm a South Florida native. Stand up with the platform that you have for the cousins, brothers, sisters of the people that made you a multimillionaire. Please don't forget that. Please don't forget who made you. You're a genius when it comes to defensive backfield play, secondary coverage, mixed coverage. I've studied it all. But stay out of the wheelhouse that deals with race relations in this country. Stay out of the wheelhouse when it comes with economics and the differential of economics between the black community and everybody else. Black student athletes need NIL deals. Black student athletes deserve NIL deals. They deserve the ability to change their families one season at a time. And no, they're not committed to one school, because less than half a century ago, those schools wouldn't let them in. So let me segue a little bit to this. I challenge every black and brown student athlete in this country. If they challenge NIL, this is your opportunity to take a stand. You see, there's these little itty bitty schools that I call HBCUs, historical black colleges and universities, that are located throughout the country, mostly on the eastern seaboard. If they challenge you and try to take that away and try to imprison you back into the NCAA's likeness, go to HBCUs and build them. Stop building schools that will never remember you. Stop building programs that the moment you can't play anymore, you never existed. A great example is, there's probably no better player than Deion Sanders. I love him to death, to life. But nobody gave him an opportunity besides an HBCU. He was one of the greatest players that ever played at Florida State, but his undergraduate degree is from an HBCU. You see, the thing about HBCUs, my black and brown student athletes that are top-notch throughout the country, is that they will accept you when others have rejected you. You also have the power of decision. If they take away your money, bring your efforts and your sweat equity to an HBCU. And I guarantee you, they will reverse the decision. It's coming. When they use Nick Saban to make these statements, it's coming. Prepare yourself. This is probably the last year of NIL. There's going to be adjustments. Why is that? Flag on the play. Because plantation economics has never emancipated the slave. Not because they paid you, but because they can control you. Black and brown student athletes, stand up. Let your voice be heard. Don't let them take your money so that they can make more. The NCAA is the largest plantation owner that has ever done it. College coaches, D1 college coaches, yeah, I was a part of the system. I was a head coach on a Division II level. We're part of the problem. There's no loyalty in coaching, but you want loyalty in players. The locker rooms are divided, but assistant coaches want the head coach's job. Let's just be honest. Keep the money in the pockets of the players. Players, if they can't pay you, don't play. This is the third rail. Livewire's first edition. If I said something that was a lie, prove it. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in. This is Dr. James. This is the third rail, Livewire edition, where truth and power collide. Take care.
Yeah, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. Everything was manifested. They wondering how I do it. You wanna know how I do it? I am that I am. It's really that easy. Know who you are when you speak it. Lost in the phone and the TVs. Everything that shine ain't gold. God sees me just for who I am.